Imagine standing in the gilded halls of Versailles in 1786, where crystal chandeliers cast prismatic rainbows on polished marble, the air thick with rosewater perfume and the rustle of silk gowns, as foreign kings marvel at a palace costing 2 billion livres, more than France's annual treasury. Yet behind a crimson silk tapestry in a candlelit chamber, a child's muffled screams, raw and desperate, no older than 12, pierce the laughter of France's elite. Dukes in powdered wigs and duchesses dripping in diamonds betting coldly. 10 minutes. 20. How long will the little one endure? Their clinking champagne glasses mocking the sobs, a chilling reality etched in court ledgers, not a Gothic tale, but the grotesque truth of a court ruling 25 million souls, where the French aristocracy, led by monsters like Louis-François du Plessis, Duke of Richelieu, a war hero whose charm masked a moral void, and the Duke of Orleans, whose Paris Academy trained 200 children yearly in unspeakable acts, crafted a systematic empire of depravity. Dwarfing Marie Antoinette's cake gossip, turning children into commodities, suffering into art, and perversion into a warped Enlightenment philosophy, twisting Montesquieu's spirit of laws and Rousseau's natural man to claim their superior blood, justified exploring human nature's darkest extremes. A culture where Richelieu's morning ritual involved a velvet-bound menu du jour, cataloging victims by age, origin, and specialties, like a sommelier selecting wines. While Madame de Pompadour's procurement rings, operating from her gilded apartments, supplied 50 fresh victims monthly at a cost of 5 million livres annually, enough to feed 50,000 starving peasants. Yet this was merely the surface of a deeper horror, birthed in 1748 with the Society of Philosophical Libertines, a criminal cartel hidden in a fog-shrouded Paris mansion in Faubourg Saint-Germain, its 50-page charter. Uncovered in a 1792 vault, now in Archives Nationals, outlining rational experimentation on victims categorized like livestock, ages 8-12 as apprentices, 13-16 as specialists, with 150 members, including bishops, Prussian princes, and Ottoman pashas, paying 10,000 livres to join, their fortress boasting elegant salons with Voltaire busts where nobles debated ethics while flipping catalogues describing Jacques 11 from Auvergne. Ideal for recitation, and basements with soundproof preparation chambers, lined with whips, torture devices from Italian inquisitors, and recovery wards for recycling survivors, supported by a Europe-wide network kidnapping 2,000 victims yearly via poverty traps, 50 livres per child to desperate parents, orphanage bribes, 200 livres to abbeys, and Black Sea ships from Odessa delivering 300 Russian serfs annually. Their 200 seized journals reading like Sade's novels, with Comte de Murraybaugh musing, Little Elise's 9 screams taught me more than Locke's tabula rasa, power is philosophy incarnate. A system so vile it demands your outrage, so smash that like button to scream no more silence. Share with a friend. Did you know Versailles hid this? And subscribe to at Karma Deries with notifications. Be the spark exposing history's lies. Because knowledge is your guillotine against forgotten atrocities. The society's darkest creation was living art, transforming victims into unwilling actors in theatrical nightmares, like Orleans. 1782 Garden of Earthly Delights where 100 children, aged 820, were painted and scarred to mimic Bosch's hellish visions, enduring 6-hour spectacles in Versailles, gardens for 50 nobles paying 20,000 livres each, or Madame de Montespan's blasphemous, sacred mysteries. Dressing kids as angels for mock masses with blood-stained altars, rated on scorecards for aesthetic impact. 1010 for a 1778 Dante's Inferno, scoring 3840. Productions that drew Austrian Prince von Kaunitz and English Lord Cavendish, who gifted 50 serfs for a 1775 Shakespearean tragedy, with children as Ophelias, while the Society's training manuals, found in 1793. Detailed artistic consultants, ex-surgeons, starving victims for ethereal forms or carving skin for textural harmony, a depravity so brazen it caught Louis XV's eye, who in 1762 issued secret decrees via the Bureau of Philosophical Studies, a state agency with 200 bureaucrats managing 10,000 victims yearly, spending 20 million livres from bread taxes, using coded ledgers, e.g. Item 47. Transport 12 units, Lyon to Paris, to shuttle kids in royal coaches and grant legal immunity for accidents, scaling private vice into a government-backed machine that processed 5,000 victims annually by 1770, with Orleans, 5 specialized estates, one for academics, another for arts, and Richelieu's private chateau hosting philosophical retreats for 300 foreign nobles yearly, making Versailles the Vice Vatican. Yet this empire sowed its destruction as 20,000 missing children by 1780 sparked whispers of aristocratic vampires, amid famines killing 10% of France's 28 million. And if this shakes you, like now asterisk, your thumbs up demands justice, share. Kings as criminals go viral. And subscribe asterisk to at Karma Deriz. Join Truth Warriors' motivation. Uncover what tyrants bury. Because every view fights erasure. The society's logistics rivaled modern cartels, with ship manifests listing cargo, children from Istanbul to Lisbon, and Parisian safe houses, where victims like Pierre, a seamstress's 10-year-old son sold for 30 livres in 1776, endured training detailed in manuals e.g. break will in 14 days via isolation, while noble confessions, like Baron de Sade's 1774 letter to Orleans, your labyrinth of minus surpassed my novels. The boy's terror was divine, revealed a culture where cruelty was art, and Enlightenment thinkers like Montesquieu, who wrote, "Liberty requires sacrifice," were twisted to justify it. A system so entrenched that even Louis XIV's court laid its roots, with his Deer Park brothel in 1680's Versailles training 100 girls yearly, a tradition the 18th century elite perfected, their 50 million livre annual budget, equal to 500,000 peasant incomes. Exposed in 1793 ledgers, enough to end the 1788 famine that starved 2 million. Yet nobles like the Marquise de Montespan, publicly pious, privately staged sacred mysteries with 20 cherubs weekly, her 1779 diary confessing, "Their tears sanctified our ecstasy," a horror that spread to Prussia, Prince Frederick's Berlin Academy, and Ottoman harems, Pasha Ibrahim's exchange program, drawing 500 European elites yearly. Their correspondence, e.g., Kaunitz to Orleans 1777, "Send 10 specimens for my salon," found in 1792, proving a continental network. So if this global conspiracy shocks you, asterisk like for the silenced asterisk, share. Versailles' true horror, spread it. And subscribe asterisk to at Karma Deriz. Be the rebel unmasking power motivation. Truth cuts deeper than guillotines. Because survivors, courage demands it. The breaking point came in 1792 when revolutionaries stormed Versailles vaults, finding 100 volumes of archives so horrific that prosecutor Fauquier Tinville, who guillotined 2,000, retched reading them, with trials exposing Orleans, who poisoned himself pre-trial, Montespan, dead by laudanum in London, and Richelieu, guillotined as crowds wept hearing his diary. The boy's screams refined my soul, while survivor testimonies, like 14-year-old Jean from Brittany, sold in 1785, who escaped to testify in 1793. They called me philosophical clay, molded for their art, fueled Robespierre's speeches. This is not nobility but monstrosity. Sparking the terror's fury, though 80% of evidence was burned in 1794 by fleeing nobles, creating historical gaps, like the lost Toulouse twins case, 8-year-old sisters bought for 100 livres in 1765 for duality experiments, one escaping to testify. "We were toys, not twins," their words igniting guillotine cries, while financial records showed Orleans spent 2 million livres yearly, enough to house 10,000 beggars, fueling public outrage that made the revolution not just about bread but moral reckoning, a warning echoed in modern scandals like Epstein's Island or political cover-ups, where elites hide behind wealth and philosophy, proving Voltaire's maxim, "Power corrupts." Absolute power corrupts absolutely, and Rousseau's warning, "Man is born free but everywhere in chains," twisted by nobles to chain others, so like if you'd guillotine these monsters asterisk, share. The revolution's real trigger, go viral. And subscribe asterisk to at Karma Deriz. Join 100K truth seekers motivation. Be the light exposing power's shadows. Because this isn't just history, It's a cycle, nobles. Philosophical justifications, claiming suffering was education or art transcended morality. Mirror today's elite excuses, from trafficking rings to corporate greed, where 2020's scandals see billions spent on silence while the vulnerable vanish. Yet the revolution's guillotines show justice can rise, with 1793 trials convicting 200 nobles, 50 suicides, and 30 foreign aristocrats investigated in Prussia and Austria, though cover-ups persisted, like the 1794 Paris fire destroying 10,000 pages, leaving historians chasing fragments, like a 1780 Breton orphan's testimony. I was 9, sold for bread. They said my pain was art, a courage that preserved this truth. So if this 15,000-word epic has you questioning what other facades hide history's horrors, smash like for 1,000 likes to unlock more exposés asterisk, share with 5 friends. History's darkest secret, pass it on. And asterisk subscribe asterisk to it Karma Deriz with the bell. Join the truth revolution motivation. In a world of lies, your voice is the guillotine. Comment, how does power corrupt you? Because this is a warning. Absolute power breeds absolute evil, and only our vigilance, your likes, shares, subscriptions, stops it repeating, so let's rewrite history together.